Welcome back, guys, to the GosuCup Asia here on Beyond the Summit. I'm Gods, filling in somewhat for LD, who's mid-drive over here to LA to join me in our new studio. Until then, guys, I'll be covering the GosuCup Asia tonight, as well as later on the We Play Dota 2 League qualifier. We're here live in a draft between Crucio, the unforgivable curse, up against Orange Esports over on the Dire side. Crucio, who just took out Neolution Esports Thailand, so they're on, well, a bit of a hot streak right now. Question is, can it continue against Orange Esports? And it seems like no one can stop Orange Esports. No one can take on Mushi. It just hasn't really happened. And it's not just Mushi. It's an all-around team thing that's been going on where they've just been an absolutely unstoppable force. We'll have to see whether it's going to continue here, what Crucio are going to have up their sleeves to deal with Orange Esports. And they've just taken out Neolution Esports Thailand. We saw bits and pieces of that game. They had a Phantom Lancer as well as the Lone Druid being picked up, and they're going to go straight back into that Lone Druid draft. Problem is, this time the Phantom Lancer isn't really an option because they're not going to have the Keeper of the Light. More likely than not, they look towards getting a support here, something like a Shadow Demon. As we do see those bans: Batrider, Keeper of the Light, Wisp, and Nyx Assassin. And the Keeper of the Light was really the key hero for Crucio in their last game, I feel. And there we go, Shadow Demon gets picked up. So they get one of those key supports for themselves to make sure they do have a well-rounded lineup. They have the Lone Druid, they have the Darkseer in there as well. And then we've got the Orange Esports side with the Mag, Rubik, and now we're looking at a third pick. And as far as this third pick goes, well, it kind of depends on where they're going to be putting the Mag. They're actually going to go back towards a Tinker draft. Okay. Haven't seen Orange run Tinker at all, and this is most likely going to be an Ohio Tinker in the mid lane. So we'll see KYXY playing that off-lane Mag with Tinker in the mid lane, and something that I guess Orange decided is going to work decently against the Lone Druid. It can slow down the push. It means they've just got this strong team fight of their own, and they don't have to worry about this sort of 20-minute 5-man push coming out of Crucio, which you can really deal a lot of damage with when you've got a Darkseer. You can go for a fast mech. You've got the Lone Druid who's got a lot of pushing potential. Actually went for a double Midas in the last game. And we'll see some kind of, we'll see how Crucio look to adjust this, whether or not they go an all-out push now, something they can't really afford to do against a Tinker, especially Mag as well. Another great sort of counter push in the sense he's got the Shockwave. More importantly though, once he's got a Blink Dagger, he can look to go initiating in, set up a team fight, and then basically catch out Crucio in a position where they don't want to be. So I think Crucio look for a backup plan here. Look to get some mid-game team fighting carries of their own. They've got the Lone Druid. If they want to play him as their main carry, they maybe look for another sort of semi-carry, something like a Queen of Pain to go to them towards the mid lane. Or maybe they look for another hard carry, run Lone Druid in the mid or in the off lane, and then have some kind of carry to go with the Shadow Demon. And that's why we see Orange actually banning out the Phantom Lancer, because they're worried that Crucio may go for another carry type draft. They had a Phantom Lancer last game, and even without Keeper of the Light, the Shadow Demon with a Phantom Lancer with another support can be a powerful tri-lane. So they decide just to get rid of it. And meanwhile, Crucio, they ban out one of the junglers. Extinct is known for playing heroes like Chen, Enchantress, and that's something which Crucio, it seems they know well, because they're going to ban that out. And so far, just the one support hero being picked up by Orange, and it's those junglers who are being targeted by these bans. Enigma now going to cop a ban. Yeah, Enchantress as well. All three junglers get banned out, while Orange, they ban out solo mids, Queen of Pain and Puck. So they realize Lone Druid is there as a decent carry. They need that sort of semi-carry in the mid lane, and they're going to ban out two strong ones, and that goes into a lifestealer. This is what I'm talking about. They're not going to run this one carry lineup, Crucio. They like to go for this dual carry. We saw them with both Phantom Lancer and Lone Druid last game. This game, it's going to be a lifestealer, and this is something which they can go offensive trialing with, something which sort of LGD like to sort of play their game around. They go for Pycat playing a Lone Druid in the safe lane as a solo, then they get this strong offensive tri-lane. Shadow Demon, one of the best supports to do that with, and Lifestealer, one of the best tri-lane farmers to do it with. So have to be a careful game for Orange Esports in that tri-lane if they are going to be up against an offensive tri-lane. But they are really, they've dealt with that scenario so many times. So many teams have tried to go offensive tri-lane against Mushi, and it's just failed most of those times. It's really been a case where Orange soak up the pressure, play it smart, use the pools, and just sort of outplay their opponents. And that's something they'll look to do again if they go in a tri-lane versus tri-lane scenario. They get the Sand King for now, so they get what is probably Extinct Sand King. Net going to be playing the Rubik, depending which one they want as a 4 position, which they want as the 5. Extinct does play that 4, generally gets a bit more farm. He's going to be looking for the faster Arcane Boots, while Net focuses more on the warding. Tries to pick up something like an Urn a bit later on, depending on how the game is going, but they still need Mushi's carry hero. This, to me, we're going to see something like a Faceless Void, unless they want to go all out with an Anti-Mage, but I think Faceless Void is the way to go against Lifestealer and Lone Druid. You want the lockdown that Chronosphere offers. You want, I mean, maybe even Shadow Fiend actually. Shadow Fiend, another strong option, does have the ranged attack, but this is going to be either Shadow Fiend or Faceless Void. I can't see them looking to pick up an Anti-Mage here. It's just not going to be a strong enough carry to take on Crucio with what we've got here. And in fact, they decide they need something with even less carry potential, which I really like. The Weaver pickup here, possibly going to be sent into the offlane with Mushi even maybe playing a Tinker if they want to go with a safe lane Tinker. And I imagine, no, it's a higher on the Tinker. So it will be Mushi playing the Weaver as a safe lane farmer. And I really like this pickup. It works so well against the Lifestealer. Lifestealer can't lock him down. And as a trialing hero who can just farm away, it does have some decent carry potential. It's a hero sort of known more for being sent to the offlane as a solo, but played in that safe lane as a farmer can do so well. So I like what Orange have done, mixing things up a bit with this pick as we do hop ourselves into the game. We switch around our overlay. That's what I knew I'd have to readjust. As there we go. Everything is looking good, pretty honkadory. And we're in the game now. Orange Esports up against Crucio. We'll see how these two teams are going to look to play things. We're going to have Orange Esports, or Orange Neolution Esports, Net playing the Sand King, Extinct playing the Rubik. We're going to have Mushi, of course, playing that farming role, and it's a farming mag. I'm completely caught by surprise. I thought this was a Weaver. I thought this was like a Mushi Weaver we're going to see. We're going to see Mushi playing a carry Magnus in the safe lane. We're going to have a Hayo playing the solo mid Tinker, and that puts Weaver. He is going that offlane solo, being played by KYXY. Wow. Not at all what you'd expect here. For a second. And we're going to see Net scatter this Spirit Bear. Spirit Bear maybe going to look to pull the wave a bit by having by having his bear there. And then let's introduce our Radiant team now. We have got Team CC, also known as the Unforgivable Curse. They are Team Crucio from the Philippines. We've got Valesio playing the Shadow Demon. We've got Nocturnal Pulse playing the Lina. Camelot playing the Lifestealer. Darkseer in the hands of Perish Song. And then finally, the Lone Druid being played by Gay Porn is Good. And interesting names all around. It looks like he's maybe even going to start himself off in the jungle here. We saw a double Midas last game. You see actually going straight to the jungle with a Darkseer at the mid lane. This Orange trailing at top wall. They're not going to find any heroes there waiting for them. Weaver finds an Invis rune, and that's going to get our lanes underway. And it is going to be Team Crucio with the Darkseer as a solo mid. So he's in that 1v1 matchup up against the Tinker. We've got Weaver scouting out this lane. So going to see the Lina here. And now Weaver's going to pretty much know it's trailing at bottom. He's going to manually block this pull here. And this is something... It's smart because Lina's going to think it's warded and may even throw down some Sentry Wards to try de-ward the pull. Lina's going to see this shortly and I think probably drop a Sentry Ward. In fact, it hasn't actually been blocked out. Lina sees it didn't spawn and knows that something's up. Something happened there and... This bottom lane actually already pushing. Oh god, it looks like they maybe just got this into a poor position. They're going to scout out the Weaver now, who does Shikuchi back to his tower, sees his creep wave here and thinks, oh great, I'm actually going to get myself some farm and XP. As Lifestealer, he's looking to farm into the tower. Lone Druid, as said, in the jungle. Not often you see this jungle Lone Druid. He's gone for a very eco build, only buying the one set of Tangos with a stout shield, and this is because he knows that he's going to be rushing that Midas, and if he can get that as fast as possible, cut some corners, don't buy a Quelling Blade, don't buy additional regen, don't buy any branches. He can get that Midas faster. He starts farming and leveling a lot faster. So he's really looking to cut as many corners as possible with this lane. Orange, they stick with Mushi top. He's going to have free farm. The question is, what do the supports do? When you're not up against any laning hero, they pull. They're going to pull all day long. Stack camps, pull camps, kill off neutral camps, and get XP and farm for themselves. They'll look to get as much as possible there in the jungles using that. Then they'll look maybe around the level 3 mark to go for a smoke gank mid. Sanking just level 1 for the timing. Maybe even before then. Maybe around sort of level 2 even, if they're feeling confident that they can get the kill on Darkseer nice and early on. They'll pop that smoke and go mid. That's going to be their first movement. That's where we sort of look towards that first blood. Unless we see it at bottom lane with this Weaver, who's actually going to come and look to harass this Lone Druid. Not a class he's going to have do very favorably. Lone Druid has a couple Tangos just for that very reason.
Regeneration.
He's rushing the Medallion. We saw the Medallion Lone Druid last game. It's not a Midas. The Medallion, he decides that's an even faster way to go about this jungle Lone Druid way. I think he's doing the same thing he did last game, although we didn't see the entire last game. It looks like this is the way Crucio played this Lone Druid. Jungle it with a Medallion rush. Very interesting build coming out from this Lone Druid. Something completely new that I have not seen in competitive play. We'll have to see how it works out for them. It's going to sort of give them these weak lanes. You can see the abandoned top lane. The Darkster at mid, who's sort of gonna... He's not struggling too terribly at the moment, but he's about to be in a lot of pain. Here comes the gang. They wait for Rubik to hit level 2, so they've got the 1 point in Fey Bolt, giving him a bit of extra damage. And now Darkseer has to be very, very careful with this. They're going to look to time this. Darkseer standing back. This is the thing. He doesn't have to go in for last hits, but he's going to do so. He should just be sending that Iron Shell in. He's going to surge himself up. There's a Telekinesis, a Sand King Stun to follow it up. Laser coming up from a higher, secures the first blood, and this is the aggressive Solar Mid-Tinker build. Laser and Heat-Seeking Missiles. Not worrying about the March of Machines, at least not for the time being. Going all-out damage. And that's where you expect the first blood to happen, and that's where it does. Orange knew they could get a kill as soon as they pop that smoke and go for it. There's our Lone Druid, that medallion. Going to be coming out very soon. Just needs the Sage's Mask. And then he's got it up, so he's already resummoned his bear once, so he needs to be a bit careful with how he uses it. And it's another gank coming out right away. This is a Dire Ward, so Darkseid does not see this coming in. Well, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, and it's your fault, Darkseid. And he's playing safe. He knows it. Does not want to be on the receiving end of another gank like that, and he's playing as careful as possible, and this is how he needs to play this lane, considering that Mag is just alone at top free farming. I imagine we see a Midas even coming out from Mushi here, when you've got this empty lane. Perish Song, he's already surged, he knows they're coming in. He's wary of this, and rightfully so. Lone Druid does have his medallion up after this little camp here, so we'll see that being picked up very shortly. As Shadow Demon and Lina, they're still doing a good job of zoning KYX wide of this lane. He's just level 3. He's make sure Ohio can get this double damage room. Maybe actually not going to be the case. Oof. Just gets in time. Soulcatcher actually going to come out. Stun too early. Ohio dodges the stun. That would have been his death if that stun blind. Darks are going to come on in. They may still get Ohio, but that stun was mistimed. March of the Machine's just level 1 now. Ohio trying to get a kill on his way out. Weaver comes in. Will finish off the Shadow Demon. 2-for-1 trade. Oh, Lina. Basics. Back to the basics here as Lina gives away a kill and will cost his team some damage there. This is the pressure. When you go up against a team like Orange, you make these sort of mistakes, which can be so costly. Against a normal team, any other game, he lands that stun. 9 times out of 10, he's landing that stun. The one time he's going to miss it is when he's up against Orange, because there's that added bit of pressure. He knows how important it is to just time it perfectly, and he mistimes it there. Big mistake coming out, as Lone Druid has got the Midas. Probably see him go for those Midas... Sorry, has got the medallion. We'll probably see him go for the Midases now. That's how he likes to play this. It looks like... Ooh, was he going for a stack there? No, he decides he just wants to go for this small camp first. He doesn't have the resummon on the bear, so he would have actually struggled to kill this with this one bear. He is now getting close to that level 5 and just spams the medallion. This is just being as effective as... efficient and effective as possible with this jungler. The Midas will come next. At least I imagine it will. That's how he played it last game. He's going to have to resummon this in a second, and I imagine that's not going to be any problem for him. As long as he doesn't die right after resummoning. If there's a gank that comes out on him, that's where he's in all sorts of pain. And he's now hit level 5 as well, so he's got the Entangle to help him jungle as well, even faster. Some additional damage he can get from that. Spending a lot of time watching this Lone Druid just because I'm so curious as to how he's playing it with this unusual build. Ohio and Tinker up to 1600 gold. His boots of travel are going to be up very soon, and he's gone back for March of the Machine, so 2 in laser, 2 in rockets. Didn't go all out with this. And Sank are going to be the one who actually gets the inventory. An immediate surge coming out from the Darkseer, and Ohio not going to chase. With the build is gone, he doesn't have the damage to bring down Darkseer. He wants to go back for this March. We may see some ancient stacking start happening soon, but more than anything, March is just so strong in a team fight scenario. Shadow Demon and Lina, they're going for a smoke in, knowing that these boots of travel are getting up too damn fast, and it looks like by the time they get here, it may be too late. Ohio may already have them, but we'll see if they can get there in time. Lone Druid even going to come in as well, so hoping for an entangle, but more than anything, just having the minus armor from the medallion could help secure this kill. Although Lone Druid realizes, hey, it's not happening right now, it's not happening fast enough, and Ohio, he's got his boots of travel. They're too late. They may get a kill now, which is good regardless, but it's not going to come at the cost of any of his gold. Maybe see a surge. He needs to surge to Shadow Demon. Does do so. Problem is, Shadow Demon taking a lot of damage here. Soulcatcher goes off. Lina does time this stun perfectly. Gets the kill there. Well played from him. Mushi going to come in from the side. He's gone for Arcane Boots. I said he might go for a Midas. That's just because it's Mushi, but he's gone for the perfectly standard Magnus build. Straight Arcane Boots. We'll be looking at a Blink Dagger next, I imagine. They're going to be playing the Weaver as well as the Tinker as their 2 main carries. Mushi sort of stepping himself down a bit here. We'll probably see quite a bit of farm coming out, but this is not the Mushi hero we're used to seeing. He's put himself on this mag, and as well as a safe lane mag. And it's come at the cost of some farm on the Weaver. Weaver not looking at all in a position to carry this game, but Mushi, look at his farm. 45, 46, make it 47 creep kills. As our Lifesteal and Lone Druid sort of just trailing behind by a small margin though. Lone Druid's now got his gloves of haste, so he starts building towards that Midas. And we'll have to see where Crucio look to make these next few plays of theirs. They've got the 3 heroes assembled once again at bottom lane. Maybe be looking for KYX on this Weaver. Problem is, he's got his ultimate up now. He's hit that level 6 mark. And it doesn't look like we've got any sentries or dust for the time being. Nothing on the courier as well, so maybe back at base for Shadow Demon or Leon, but they're not going to be able to get this kill too easily. Maybe they can look to burst him down, but the problem is, you can't really time this. You have to time the stun so perfectly. Shukuchi has no casting animation, so you're almost guaranteed to get the Shukuchi off. Sure, the stun will land, but you don't have vision for Lifesteal to do any right-click damage on top of the Lina stun when he goes in invis after a disruption. If you lead with a disruption, follow with a Lina stun. If you time Lina stun well enough, it's going to land, but you're just not. He still gets the Shukuchi off. And this is what we're going to see. We're going to see Lifesteal actually try to fight his way through the Weaver. Forces a Shukuchi out. He's actually going to go back in here. Needs to be careful not to get too close. Mag going to go in looking for an RP. Decides against it. He didn't find the engagement that he was hoping for. KYX trying to kite his way around these 2 heroes. Will find the Shadow Demon. Actually not going to manage to finish him off. Shadow Demon, can he TP out in time? Weaver still searching. Shukuchi finishes him off. And Mag trying to look for this Lina. Does get the kill. It comes from a higher on the Tinker from the mid lane. He's actually TP'd in with those boots of travel. Now has enough gold for his soul ring. Great rotation coming out from Orange. Mushi leading things off. Didn't find the skewer he was hoping for. He was looking for at least a 2 hero, preferably a 3 hero RP there, but he didn't get it. But it's still, they get both the supports and Lifestealer. His farm gets slowed down quite significantly. All this time though, we've got Lone Druid farming away. He's up to level 7 now. And he won't be going for that Radiance build. It's not the way they like to play this, Crucio. Perish Song, he's rotated back towards mid, and he's probably looking to farm the mech for his team. They need that fast mech. Pipe is great, but mech is the more cheaper cost-effective item that can really give them that edge in the team fight and just help them deal with that constant march, which Tinker's going to be being very pesky with. There's your Soul Ring, level 8 as well. He's almost got the final 4th point in it. He's even pinging these Ancients. He wants someone to help him stack them. But more than anything, it's just some very cheap, cost-effective farming. It doesn't take him long to do it, and he can just immediately TP back to base, heal himself up, and then go to a lane. He can give the mid lane to the supports. His supports can now take a lane, get themselves their level 6s, get themselves some just basic early game items, and he can just take the Ancients. Even neutral stacks. As, with no heroes on the map for Crucio, he knows that there's not really any place where he can look to apply some pressure. He'll be looking for a counter gank maybe where needed, but for now, he's just going to stay in those Ancients. Speaking of Ancients, Lone Druid doing the same thing. Medallion being used to help deal with this big rock. I didn't actually know you could use Medallion on these, because these things are magic immune. It says most magical spells. Apparently, Medallion, something you can be casting on it. Oh my gosh, Shadow Demon. That's a ward. That's a dire ward. Rocket. No mana. It looks like there's no mana. Tinker did not have the mana to get another rocket off. He may do so now. It's going high ground. Goodbye, Shadow Demon. Well, the good news is they know it's warded. The bad news is Shadow Demon's freaking dead. As Midas is up in about 20 gold now for the Lone Druid. He's headed towards this top lane, realizing it's completely empty. There's not too much of a... Well, there's no visible threats there. Problem is, Mushi's waiting in the fog, and he's got a Blink Dagger now. We'll look to see maybe a Blink Skewer on this Lone Druid. He's not in ulti form. He hasn't actually got any point in his true form either. So this is... I mean, this is almost a guaranteed kill if they can get a stun on him. Sand King looking for it. Oh! Narrowly misses. Mushi's still maybe going to look for this kill.
Bottom tower has fallen.
As bottom tower does actually go down. Tinker and Weaver make sure of that. This kill on the Lone Druid is going to be crucial. He's already got his Midas, but killing him regardless is going to be relatively easy. Skew! Oh, Mushi completely whiffs it. TP actually going to come in. They should get this kill regardless. No! Gay Porn is good. Gets out of there. And the TP retaliation is coming in from Tinker as well as the Radiant team. They've got a couple of heroes in. Mag goes blinking back in. Mushi completely messed that one up. As Lone Druid going to escape with his life. He's actually forced to heal back. He'd love to go use that Midas on one of these big creeps, but right now he's forced back. He has got his Midas. That's the big thing. And he avoids death. What looked to be certain death. Especially when I assume Mushi didn't even need an ulti for it. The thing is,
Radiant's middle
he
tower
expected
is
him to have
under
true
attack.
form. So if he goes for a blink skewer, he thinks, okay, Lone Druid's going to go into ulti form and maybe tank it up. But he doesn't have that ulti form. Something which Mushi probably is not aware of right now.
Tower is under attack.
He's gone for this stronger jungling build. Shadow Demon at mid, taking a bit of damage. March once again. Causing all sorts of issues. Another medallion on the playing field. KYXY has one for his team. On the Weaver, and here comes Mushi. He's decided to go towards bottom lane now. We'll be looking for a blink skewer. Follow up with a shockwave, and there should be enough damage to bring down this lifestealer. Yeah. Looking at plenty of damage. Infest forced out. As Weaver actually going to... Ooh! Not really a fight that this Weaver's going to... Well, he's going to easily come out on top. Rocket's going to come in as well. Maybe just going to have to pop the rage here. Does do so. And now it's, well, retaliation coming out. Orange is Ohio in all sorts of trouble. Caught between a rock and a hard place. Darkseer brings him down. The chase is now on. Weaver going to have to maybe time-lapse this dust. I'm not sure he's actually got it. He's already popped it. And now Darkseer chasing Weaver, looking to bring him down. Is there going to be enough damage here? Meanwhile, the supports for Crucio are just falling one by one. KYXY is just kiting heroes around. The dust has worn off. Illusion Room going to get snatched up by Mushi. And now Darkseer is in all sorts of trouble. Shockwave once. He's down to red HP. Going to try and vacuum his way out of this. Actually almost brings down the Weaver. KYXY taking a ton of damage here, but he survives on about 100 HP, and all said and done, Orange, big kill swing going in their favour. Only losing the Tinker there and getting 3-4 kills out of it. And once again, they're slowing down the farm of a lot of these key heroes. Lifestealer doesn't go down, but he gets pushed out of the lane. Lone Druid actually sells and died. The two carries for Crucio, neither of them have actually been taken out here. Neither has been killed this entire game, and that's the one thing which Orange are going to have some worries about. They killed these supports 4 or 5 times a piece, but they haven't killed the carries.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I should stop saying... Apparently I need to stop saying the players' names. Otherwise, I just make a fool of myself. I'm going to call him Lone Druid from now on. Note to self, never cast Crucio again. Or at least never call them by their player names again. Someone's going to VOD, like, cut the audio clip where I say that, and it's going to be like, gay porn is good. Quoting gods, and... It's not going to be true. I said that. Because this guy just has the most ridiculous username ever. But it's all an elaborate ruse. That's what he was hoping for. He probably changed his name as he saw that I was casting this game. But Lone Druid, he's got his first minus. Are we looking at a second one? Boots up on his hero.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Very unusual Lone Druid build, as people are mentioning. This is something you'd not normally expect, but so far it's worked out. They've got a decent amount of farm. He's got boots, medallion, Midas. Hasn't been picked off yet. He hasn't even got any points in his ulti form. He's maxed out Rabbit even. 3 points in Spirit Bear, max Rabbit. The only thing you get from that 4th point in Spirit Bear is the Demolish. So if he's not pushing, having that extra point in Spirit Bear isn't really... Okay, it's not the only thing you get. You also get Magic Immunity as well as extra HP, but... I think he's feeling right now that the extra points in Rabbit for the entangles and just to help him fight and basically farm, it's basically a better farming build because you don't need Magic Immunity for neutrals. You don't need, well, Demolish for neutrals. You only need that if you're pushing towers, which they're not doing right now. So as far as farming neutrals goes, having only 3 points in the Spirit Bear is a better build to have. Oh, Mushi coming in from the side. He's only going to see the Darkseer here. Vacuum actually gets stolen by Rubik. Level 4 Vacuum as well, so that's going to do a lot of damage if he can manage to land that on 2 or 3 heroes, as mech is being built on this Darkseer. KYXY has finished off his Perseverance and, well, Lifestealer finishing off his armlet. So the carry heroes for this Radiant team are getting these items up at a reasonable pace. Here comes the second Midas. At least it looks like that way. Unless we're looking to start building his Maelstrom, which could well be the case if he doesn't want to go the double Midas once again. But he went double Midas last game. I'd love to see it again. See how it works against a team like Orange. It works against Neolution Thailand, and that's by no means a weak team. So we'll see if it can play out again once again for the Pinoys. And that's something that the Philippines teams are really known for: doing these unusual builds, playing an unusual style, and somehow making it work. The double courier bottle crowing. I mean, all kinds of, like, the triple farmers around the map. They play their solos as farmers. I mean, it's a very different kind of Dota the Pinoy teams play. They play very aggressive as well, and we're not really seeing that here. This is a more farm-based build, a farm-based style of play, but the builds, the items being picked up from some of these players is definitely different. They're looking for this Weaver here. He's already popped the time-lapse. He gets dust up afterwards. Shadow Demon with the disruption. They need an entangle here. He's actually going to bring down the Spirit Bear. That's, well, he gets himself some gold and farm on his way out, Weaver, but he does get taken out by a Laguna Blade, forces a resummon. As our Lone Druid, it looks like he's going to head back to base. I don't think he's going to look to go farm just now. Actually, not much there to be farmed. There's mid lane actually going to be Darkseer falling down here. The tier 1 tower as well, picked up by Rubik, as well as the kill on the Darkseer. And Ohio now with the Blink Dagger up. He's level 10. He's going to start building towards that Sheepstick. Blink Dagger also picked up by the Sand King, by Net. So Blink Dagger's all over for this Dire team. You've got it Mag, Sand King, as well as Tinker. And all in all, it's Orange who are controlling this map really well. They've got a 10k gold lead, but they're by no means in the clear right now. When you're looking at this Lone Druid and Lifestealer, neither with a death to their name, both with a solid amount of farm. Well, there's still hope, I've got to say, for this Team Crucio. Midas back up and immediately being popped by this Lone Druid. We'll see if he goes for a second Midas. And the thing is, it's good on Lone Druid because the attack speed, it just meshes so well with the Spirit Bear. You always want to have more attack speed on your Spirit Bear, so going Midas, even a second Midas, which you can use one on your hero, one on your bear, is still going to be a decently cost-effective way to play the hero. It's like an alternative to getting a Hyperstone at a similar cost. Hyperstone obviously scales better to the late game because you can turn it into that Assault Crest, but all in all, this build coming out from Lone Druid is still going to be fairly useful. Mid lane, we've got the Rubik and Mag just holding the lines, and that's something which Crucio are unable to do with this sort of more farm-based play. They're unable to put any pressure on these towers. Bottom, middle, top, all having taken very minimal damage. All they've had is the lanes to farm, the neutrals to farm, and that's where Orange got starting to accrue this massive gold lead. They've taken out 3 outer towers, all 3 tier 1 towers, and, well, they're controlling the map well. We'll see them maybe even look to go for Roshan soon, even without having taken these tier 2 towers, being on that Dire side. They should be able to take it pretty much whenever they're ready. Mushi's got a smoke up of his own, so he's looking to make something happen around this map. May see him look to use that soon. Oh, bottom lane, Sand King has found a kill. He takes out the Lone Druid, and is it a Lone Druid with a double Midas? It does look like it. Yep, double Midas Lone Druid, and he gets picked off. So there's your first kill on one of these carry heroes. Lone Druid going to be the first to go down. Weaver getting harassed quite heavily by the Starks here at mid lane. He's a bit low on mana, hasn't gone for the Soaring because he's been that solar mid. He went for the bottle instead with some Arcane Boots, and he's looking to chase. He's got the Shadow Demon and Lina there. Lina with the Laguna Blade back online. They really want to get this Weaver. Shadow Demon getting hasted up, and Sand King on the sidelines. Already used that Epicenter to kill off Lone Druid, so it's going to be a retaliation, and Mushi is here. This is the problem, as well as Extinct here. This is not going to be a fight that's going to go the way of the Pinoys. They're going to get instantly burst down. They lose 2, make it 3. Darkseer the last to fall. Easy peasy for Orange there. Orange Neolution Esports, well, they take out 3 and they're going to look to take out this tier 2 tower, and I imagine there's not going to be much that Crucio can say about that. They're going to let it fall. Nothing they can really do, and Lone Druid, he's double Midas at mid lane. Gets himself instantly up to about 500 gold. From nothing to 500. This is the power of the Midas. He can farm so quickly. But they're not pushing. They're not really holding the lanes very well. And Net, well, the Blink Dagger being up, level 2 ultimate. He's got the team fight under control for Orange. And I think not just him. You've got Mushi as well with the Blink Dagger and Arcane Boots. Probably going to look for a refresher now. KYXY takes out the tower, so they realize they don't need to keep Mushi farming. They give the towers they need to KYXY. He's going to have his Lincoln Sphere up, and maybe not. Are we even looking at the Lincoln Sphere? Maybe he goes back for a Radiance now. He's not bought it. He's got enough gold. May even see him just pick up a straight Relic. If he's going to be the source of damage, go to Lincolns afterwards. As Korea is flying down, it looks like, yep, Mushi's Oblivion stuff. We are looking at a refresher coming out on him. Meanwhile, top lane, Tinker just applying continual pressure. March the machines, spam it down, come back. He's actually gone Ghost Scepter here. I really like this pickup, and uh-oh, the Lone Druid. He who shall not be named. Actually going to get the kill on the Sand King. There's a lot of Harry Potter themes going on. We've got He Who Shall Not Be Named on the Lone Druid, and we've also got, well, they're also Team Crucio, the Unforgivable Curse, so big shout out to all the Harry Potter fans in chat. KYXY has gone for a Lincoln Sphere. Looks like the Crow was just maybe in use, so he's unable to bring it out. It's actually coming down towards the bottom lane with absolutely nothing on it. Oh, Maggie's found the Lifestealer. Gets skewered back in, thrown up in the air by telekinesis. No chance to rage it off. And that's the problem with this Lifestealer. If he gets caught out like that, he can't put his armor on and couldn't even get a rage off. He gets brought down. Crucio suddenly Orange are like, oh, what's our Crucio doing? That ain't normal. That ain't right. Back comes a Hayo. He's now got himself an ultimate orb with that GosuCup. I love this GosuCup pickup. It works so well against Lone Druid and Lifestealer. Mushi getting closer and closer to this refresher orb, and then the problems are going to surmount for Team Crucio. Parasong heading towards the top lane, and as far as his solo mid is gone. I mean, he's got this fast mech, but since then he has not had any item progression whatsoever.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Orange Esports are the one controlling this map. Get the wards up. They've even got a gem now, sitting on the Sand King. And that's purely for dewarding. There's no invis. This is just deward the whole map. Especially, even dewarding sentries is becoming a big component for them, because there's sentries all over the map because of this Weaver. And, well, Sand King says, well, let's help him out. I'll just deward all these sentries, because sentries aren't going to be on cliffs. When you're a Sand King, dewarding cliffs is really hard to do. Speaking of cliffs. Well, not speaking of cliffs. Speaking of Sand King. He's doing the Harlem Shake. Takes out the Lone Druid. And it's Tinker Ahai who finds a kill in the bottom lane. Darkseer goes down. Darkseer actually pops off an ultimate here, trying to dish out as much damage as he can while he goes down. Maybe even trying to save his own life. As top lane, the dives continue. Net needs to be careful. He's got this gem here. He does not want to be getting picked off. Tinker going to go blinking in. Immediately assassinates the Shadow Demon. And Sand King still chasing. Stuns his way in. Doesn't care that he's got no HP. Swarm going to be dropped. That's actually KYXY. It's a complete full team wipe. Orange Esports in their enemy bases. Dives their enemy base. Kills their enemy team. And walks away like no freaking problem. KYXY. He's now got his Lincoln Sphere. He's now got 2k gold on top of it. And Mushi getting very close to a Refresher Orb. As the pessimistic observers are calling it over. I don't believe there's much left to be said and not much left to be said and done by the Pinoys, but they've still got their tier 3 towers left. They've still got their Raxes up, and we'll see whether or not that's going to be enough. They've got the 2 dual core carries, but what they haven't got is a way of avoiding this. Mushi Mag ultimate skewers them back in. Just the supports once again. He gets the 2 supports. This has really been a trending thing. These 2 supports constantly getting caught out. 8 deaths on Shadow Demon, 7 deaths on Lina, and just 2 apiece for the 2 carries. But I think Orange know that they can just get complete and utter map control, push towers uncontested by just killing supports. And Mushi's going to look to find some more. It's going to be about the skewer this time. Hasn't got an ultimate, but a blink into a skewer can set up a kill in itself. We saw it earlier, even on the Lifestealer, because you can combine the skewer with a telekinesis, and he's not raging out of it. Darkseer is at top lane. He's, as said, no more item progression coming his way. And Orange, it looks like they back off, and that's probably backing off because they're looking for this big fella. KYXY 3.6k gold now, so if he wants the Radiance, he can go for it, or we may just see some other sort of damage item, whether it's an MKB, a Daedalus, go for the crit, but Orange, they're in no rush to end things here. They know they can play this a bit safer, and they're always a team who looks to sort of play it the safe route. Make sure they have everything they need before they look to go for the tier 3 towers and push high ground, and everything they need is going to include the refresher for Mushi, the next damage item for this Weaver, Aegis for whoever they want, and then they'll be ready. Sheepstick as well. Yeah, that's the missing component. Sheepstick for a higher. That's the one other big item which they're sort of waiting on. And he's just a couple hundred gold away from. They're going to get Roshan here, and then with that, they're all going to have pretty much enough gold for whichever item they want to get. KYXY, it looks like he's going to be the one grabbing it. He's got his Demon Edge, so just about 800 gold away from that MKB. Maybe we see him go for the crit, but I think MKB is going to be the way he wants to play this. Get that True Strike attack. As Darkseer actually has Nakes infested inside of him. He's going to be looking for a big ultimate here. Central Wood has been dropped. Lincoln Sphere going to block something. Sand King Epicenter from the high ground, trying to do the Harlem Shake. Something actually cancelled his blink, it looks like. No, actually blinks in a second later. Takes out the Shadow Demon. Lina going to drop as well. The 2 supports, time and time again, they just can't survive these team fights. And Lifestealer, once he gets thrown up in the air, he's not surviving anything either. As Darkseer and Lone Druid, the only 2 left standing. Darkseer actually balled back for that. He's got his ultimate. He's trying to try and come and take a fight, but he buys back, dies again, doesn't even get his ultimate off, and Lone Druid's just going to stand there shaking his head like, well, what can I do? What is there left to be done except watch these Raxes fall at mid lane? Aegis is still there for KYXY. He's now got up to 3k gold. That's his MKB if he wants it. And this teamfight synergy for Orange is just proving to be too much to handle. The supports, they've already respawned. This is the great upside of them being low level and constantly dying, is that they respawn really damn fast, but they're only respawning to die again. Lone Druid under his own fountain. Ooh. 180 HP. He does survive that.
Courier has been killed.
Treads, Planewalker's Cloak, all these items helping out. Crucio actually dies. It looks like someone near mid lane. Interesting to see where that one happened.
Is under attack.
With all the diving underneath, it looks like it looks like they were getting caught out. And there we have it. GG being called from the dark tier. Draws on the minimap. He thinks the game is over. He's looking for that wall of replica. That's the only thing which will give him a chance in any sort of a team fight. KYXY. He's finished off his MKB. Actually getting a decent wall of replica off here from the Darkseer, but he gets burst down by a higher end. Net, as always, just getting these sandstorms off at the right place, right time. Just being so evasive, unable to be brought down. And Lone Druid's doing his best here, trying to find some targets here. He's picked up actually a very late Orb of Venom, it looks like. Try to give him some additional damage, but Orange, it's just too easy for him right now. Nobody can stop them, it seems. They're just on this unbeatable streak. GG well played coming out from Nocturnal Pulse. As Extinct calls GG as well. And Orange Esports, they're through to the semi-finals. They've done it once again. They've really been playing well here, and they are looking like the team to beat. It was a good run for CC. They took down Neolution Esports Thailand. They took out basically one of the top Thai teams. After Myth Trust, Neolution Thailand is sort of the next big team in Thailand. Team CC or Team Crucio did manage to take him down, but Orange Esport, that's really sort of that next level. Taking out some of those Tier 2 Southeast Asian teams is possible for upcoming teams. When you think about taking down teams like Orange and Zenith, well then you're asking for something a bit tougher, a much bigger ask. And it honestly looks like Orange Esports with this new roster of theirs, with a higher playing in the mid lane and Net, one of the best supports there is out there, is just going to be a very unbeatable, tough team. I honestly can't see them dropping a game in this GosuCup. It's something I don't like to call so far ahead, but they're looking like they could go this entire GosuCup without dropping a single game. What is going to stand in their way? Who is actually in this bracket that can take them down? You've got maybe First Departure, the Singaporean team who's managed to take a game off Zenith here and there. You've got First Departure, you've got Neolution Imp. Neolution Imp, one of those big upcoming teams, the sort of combined Singaporean Filipino-American team with Captain Mike Ninja Boogie Ross. There may be a possible contender, but those are really the only two teams who I think have a chance against Orange. First Departure and Neolution Imp. Everyone else, it's going to struggle. This Orange team is just playing so well. They're working so well together as just a combined unit. It's this well-oiled machine, and we're seeing it here. As Weaver, we're not seeing it from him. He gets taken out of the foul. He's actually going to respawn. He has got the Aegis of Immortal. And this is just all business now. Orange, well actually, I say all business. They're having a bit of fun here as the game is now over, but Orange, one of those teams who always focus on winning the game before having fun. It's never about taking any chances. They play as efficiently as possible, and that's where these are. I mean, you get a Blink Dagger up now on the Weaver, but this game throughout, you had everyone, even when it looks like Orange were without a doubt winning this game, they still go the safest way. They get Roshan, they get the Sheepstick on the Tinker, they get the MKB on the Weaver before they look to push and seal the deal. And now it looks like they're going for a last bit of fountain farming. Mushi surviving on 50 HP with a bit of fountain diving, as the throne now going to be the next to fall. I say that, but Orange have no intention of dealing with the fountain. Sorry, with the throne right now. The fountain is where they want to go. This is like typical Pinoy Dota, and every time there's a Pinoy game, like in the Filipino scene, it's always like a good 5-10 minutes of fountain farming at the end. Always teams trying to kill the fountain as well. Back when you could frostbite the fountain using Crystal Maiden, there were always teams who looked to kill it off. If you have a Crystal Maiden, you'd never go for the throne, you'd always go for the fountain. And Orange, well, there's a bit of Pinoy Dota in everyone, and Orange showing it here, having some fun in the fountain. Getting a few more kills. Now they seal the deal. 44 kills to 6. Orange Esports absolutely, well, tearing apart the Pinoy team Crucio, who did have a good run, made it all the way to the quarterfinals. Orange advanced to the semi-finals, and we're going to see who they're going to be going up against next game. As, yeah, Neolution Esports Revenge. As this is Crucio took down one Neolution team, the Thailand team, but they couldn't go through the Malaysian Orange Neolution team. So Orange Esports, they advance to the semi-finals. We'll have a look at the bracket, see who they're going to be versing soon, as it has been a pretty easy, straightforward run for them so far. Big thanks to everyone who's been tuned in following the tournament. I'm Gods from Beyond the Summit. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/btsgods. Be sure to follow me there for all your updates, and be sure to follow the Beyond the Summit stream and Twitter as well. We'll be back soon, guys, with more GosuCup Asia action.